Bestaat management 3.0? En als het al bestaat, zijn er dan managers die hieraan voldoen? Jazeker. De Fransman Yann Toutant is zo'n manager van de toekomst. Hij maakt niet alleen verbinding met al zijn medewerkers, maar ook met alle stakeholders. Hij ziet de waarde van het uitdagen van zijn medewerkers en laat hen zich zo nu en dan buiten hun comfortzone begeven. Gelukkig ziet hij ook in dat uitdagen samengaat met fouten maken, om daar vervolgens van te leren. Toutant heeft een stip aan de horizon als het gaat over hoe de nieuwe organisatie 3.0 eruit moet zien. Luister mee naar zijn verhaal. Hoe zijn persoonlijk leiderschap hem bracht tot CEO in Nederland. Over bruggen slaan tussen de Franse en de Nederlandse cultuur. En over zijn drijfveer om medewerkers los te durven laten en verantwoordelijkheid te geven. Luister naar een verhaal dat navolging dient te krijgen in organisatieland.
I have three main activities. I have one main activity, which is to be the CEO of a French company here in Holland, of the filiale of a French company here in Holland. And I started this job 12 years ago when I came to Holland to initiate this business. So this company had a presence in Holland, but was really little. And the idea was to develop the business on the Dutch market. That's why I came here 12 years ago. That's my main activity. The second activity is to be the chairman of the French Chamber of Commerce here in Holland. And with the French Chamber of Commerce, we help the Dutch business corridor to be at its best when it comes to business. And the third activity I have is to help startups to scale up. And I'm helping at the moment 2 organizations on the Dutch market to make the step from a startup to a scale-up. This is what takes most of my time and energy and reward. I believe that management today is very much based on a lot of control, control. And one of the control is to be able to see your people work. Of course, it depends on the functions, but a lot of functions, it's not because people are at the office that they work. And when you ask people, I often ask this question, when you ask people where is the best place to work, the office is not coming first. The first that is coming is home or a co-working space, but not the office. So, what is the definition of work? I believe that you have what I call activity-based work. So according to the work you're going to do, you choose the location. And if you look at a house, it's exactly the same. You are not baking your eggs in your bedroom. So according to what you do, you have a special place. You are not brushing your teeth in your kitchen. So according to the activity, there's a place. It's the same with work. What we do today is that we ask people to do all their activities at the same place all the time. It can't work. You know, you hear very often that 1 + 1 has to be 3 and not only 2. And when it comes to management, it's the same. So basically, how can you leverage, how can you get the maximum of a team? And we have very often the perception that a team has to execute what the manager says, what the manager thinks, and I believe it's not the case. A team is, I give my team a frame in which they have to act, and then this frame is the goal. So basically, this is where we want to go, how we're going to go there. It's a decision we're going to make together. And it's an action that will be taken by every team member. It takes time, of course, to maturate. I would say to this way of managing. You have to do your mistakes to understand the things. So I did my mistakes also by saying I was doing it, but by not doing it. And most of the time, you say you do it when you come out of a training. You know, you have a coaching training or a management or leadership session for 2 days, and you come back to your office and so now I'm going to apply it and I'm going to be the best manager as described in all the books and all the consultants I've been talking to. What is the impact of the mistakes you allow? So if you take a child, you will allow a child to make mistakes so he can learn. So you will allow him, for example, to carry a bottle of plastic water and knowing that he might drop it, okay, but at least he learns. but you will not allow your child to carry a bottle of glass water, because if it falls, then there's a piece of glass everywhere, he's barefoot, he will injure himself. So in this case, the safety of your child is engaged, so you will not allow your child to do these mistakes, because then it's a huge impact. It's the same for an organization. What are the mistakes you allow people to do? And what are the impacts on your organization of those mistakes? So it's good to give room to people to have empowerment and to do mistakes, and to do mistakes that are under control, so to say, that are not engaging the safety of your organization. I was a student and in business school, and I remember one of the teachers we had there. He was himself an entrepreneur, and his course was how to become an unuseful manager. And I'm talking about 1991, so almost 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And I had a year training, 2 hours per week, how to become an unuseful manager, how to be a manager that is unuseful. And I was really triggered. Of course, I was a young person, I was 20 years old. And I was really triggered because managers are very often working on their job retention. So how can I be as useful as possible that the company will never get rid of me? So I protect my job. It's job retention. So I need to know everything. I need to have all the data. I need to have all the know-how. So I am in a relation with my management that is a strong power play in my favor. That could be a strategy. I don't believe in it. I believe in a strategy where your contribution is to grow the organization, and if the organization grows, you grow with it. And you are pushed by your team. You are being pushed up by your team. Instead of keeping control and making sure that you won't be replaced one day. Because you will be replaced one day anyway. I've always been triggered by crossing the Atlantic on a sailboat. I never did it because I was always thinking I can't leave my business for a month because then it will collapse. I have the opportunity to do it. I know someone who says my boat has to be brought from Mallorca to the Caribbean, so I need some crew to make it happen. And if you want, I know you want to do it, so if you want, you're in. And I'm like, okay, that's good. Let me think about it. So I think about it. I say yes. And then I say yes, so I get the phone number of the captain of the boat to call him and to prepare the trip. So I call the captain, hello, etc. And the captain is very strong to me, very harsh. Say, Yann, I've looked on your LinkedIn, you're a CEO of a company. 2 things before you make any decision. You have no connection with your business for a month. No connection, there's no internet, there's nothing. So I have a phone on board, it's a GPS phone, it's 100 euros per minute, so you will not use it. So forget it, you have no connection. Second, we don't know when we arrive. So don't push me to arrive at a certain date, we don't know when we arrive. Now you think about those 2 points and you call me back tomorrow. So the first reaction say, I won't go, it's not possible. And then I decide to take it different, and I ask one of my advisor, which is a coach, I say, look, this is the challenge I have now, how can I address it? And he helps me, he says, well, you know what? Ask your team what they think about it. Go to your team members, dare to ask them what they think about it. So I go to my team, and my team says, but first of all, you have to go. Second, it's a great opportunity to show you that we can run a business without you. So you give us a big compliment by leaving, because you offer us the opportunity to be at ease, to be autonomous, and to show ourselves and yourself that there is maturity in your team. So wow, that's a very good positive vision from them. I really appreciate it. But then I have a shareholder that I need also to explain that, by the way, in January, in the middle of the due diligence process, in the middle of closing of the books, I will disappear for a month. So I asked again my coach how to discuss that, what would be your advice, and it's a parenthesis, but in those cases it's always good to have an external person helping you in setting up those discussions. And so I make a list of all those good reasons to go. It looks impossible, it's obvious I can't go, but I have a list of 20 points why I should go. So I'm about to have this meeting, and I'm about to enter into this meeting, and suddenly I think I'm about to do a sell pitch for something that doesn't need a sell pitch. So those 20 arguments are not the right way to address it. I need to address it in a much more straightforward way. So I decide last minute to put a picture of a boat on my computer screen. And I enter the meeting and I say, first, before we enter into our agenda of this meeting, I have something I need to discuss with you. And it's the following. I will be crossing the Atlantic on this boat, and I will have no contact with the business. And by the way, it's in January. So I did not ask, I just imposed it. And guess what? To my big surprise, the answer is, if you don't do it, you're fired.
Wow.
And I was really touched by this answer, because it shows that I've prepared a whole pitch, because I was expecting my shareholders to say no. But my shareholders in their position directly have seen the impact in terms of motivation for me, in terms of impact to the team. They understood directly the positiveness of doing it. So there was no discussion there. It's a go direct. And this, what I want to say here, that this fear of asking permission for big things in your life is something that I've learned with this story. And that's a takeaway I'd like to share in this interview, is that we are good in finding excuses not to do things. And one of the excuses could be what the other will think. So you don't even dare asking the others. And the others could be your manager, your shareholder, your partner, your parents, or whatsoever, your kids, people that count for you. But if you have yourself a good story for yourself to make it happen, they can only follow. So it's not about what the other thinks, it's about what it will do for you. My intention is to be able to help people or organizations to grow in what they are good at, by providing them my skills and my seniority and my network and my expertise to help them to make bigger steps than they would do alone. If you decide where you're going to work, if you decide what you're going to work on in the frame that is given, then you're more mature, you're more responsible to deliver more value for yourself and also for the organization. I believe very much in that. Of course, the first issue we have is management, leaders that say, no, I want to see my team, I want them to be at the office, otherwise they will not work. So we have to work on that. And that's what I did in my organization, and it was quite a journey, but it was quite fine.